Hey, ladies, welcome to another episode of the Revitalized Womanhood Podcast, my To the Core Friday episode where it's just me. Hi, I haven't done a To the Core on camera for a long time. I usually just leave the camera off, bing, bang, boom, get them done, get out of here. But I was just barely got done recording with the most wonderful woman, Kristen Fennell. She is a neonatal nurse practitioner. So you will hear me talking about this Friday, but her episode actually doesn't come out for 2 weeks. So has become, rather than so much involved in the NICU and L&D side of her nursing, she's gone more into nurse educator mode. And that's how I found her. Was her Instagram page has so much wonderful information about all things babies and birth and prenatal, postnatal, whatever, all the things. So of course that's what I'm drawn to right now because that's what I'm in. So I got done recording with her, and it was the first episode that was recorded in the new baby studio. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is now, let's see if I can lift this. This is the nursery. It is no longer just the Revitalized Womanhood Podcast studio. It is now the nursery. I mean, we've got all the things in here. So not just me in here anymore. It's not going to be just me in here anymore. Anyway, so it got me thinking, recording with this woman got me thinking with Kristen, with Kristen got me thinking about all of the amazing birth stories that I have had, and just has me all wondering about what's this one going to be, because holy cow, this little girl, everything about her has been different. She's had to make sure that everything about this pregnancy has been completely different, and I never forget any bit of it. So like a true woman, right? Making sure that she is memorable. So I just thought it would be fun to walk down memory lane and talk about birth stories. Are you guys in for that? I don't know. If you're not, then tune out and whatever. But it's December. It's baby month. We're getting ready. Technically, it's not. She's not due till January, but I have a little feeling. I think we could all start putting bets on this. I'm kind of expecting her after Christmas in 2024. However, she is not scheduled until January 8th. So I don't know. Technically, her due date is January 15th. Her scheduled C-section is January 8th. So for me to predict that she's possibly going to make an entrance sometime after Christmas is still a little early, but I don't know. She just does not sit still. This girl, it seems like she's just so ready to get out of there, but who knows? Who knows? My boys, like I said, totally different. All three of my boys were cozy, comfortable, fat, happy, huge, dug their heels in. They never wanted to leave. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, if you want to hang out while I go down memory lane, it just had me thinking all the things of birth stories, and I'm wondering how quickly I could get through each of them. So we'll start with one and see how far we get. Maybe do an episode for each one, just because why not? They're fun. They're fun to listen to. So birth story number 1, Kastle Benson Trimmer. Oh boy. And I would have to pull out my books to actually see like specific events, like as far as his actual weight and length and whatever. I just know he was huge. He was overdue. He was past his 40 weeks. I want to say maybe 40 weeks, 2 days. So not terribly past, but he was early September. So here in St. George, that is right in the thick of as hot as it can possibly get. And it was my first baby, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it as well. But oh man, I was swollen. Holy cow. I gained anywhere between 50 and 60 pounds with my babies, all of my babies, which I haven't with this little girl. She's a little teeny tiny thing. My husband thinks I'm keeping all the food for myself and she's starving to death, but it's not this. But with my boys, yeah, it was pretty common for me to gain anywhere between 50 and 60 pounds. With Kastle, I'm sure it was closer to 60 because of the water weight. I mean, you could push in my legs, that swollen where you could push in the legs. I just remember being so hot and uncomfortable all the time. And we were living with Rick's grandparents in their home because we had lost everything. If you remember, if you've been here long enough to know, we'd lost everything in the recession. So we were living with Rick's grandparents in their basement, and they had a friend just around the corner that had a swimming pool. They were snowbirds, and so they weren't in their home yet. Nobody was living there, and as a surprise, Rick asked if we could go and just use their pool whenever so that I could just get some relief. I could go and not have to worry about going to a public pool because I looked like Shamu, and now I wouldn't care, I'm just kind of like, whatever. But that was my first baby. I was very insecure about it and more self-conscious and all the things. So anyway, I thought it was really sweet that he went out of his way to ask permission that we could go just have access to their pool anytime I needed to just float in cold water. So anyway, all right, let's see. Then here we go. I don't know why I was sleeping out on the couch the day when I went into labor. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, I don't know why I was sleeping out on the couch, but I was out in the living room, I was sleeping on the couch. And I maybe I started in bed and it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. Maybe I just ended up coming out so I wouldn't wake up Rick is probably likely what happened. So I was out there and I was timing contractions, and it got to the point where I was like, okay, maybe this is it. So I got up. Listen, this sounds so insane to me now, but and at the time, even for my second baby, first and second baby, I remember asking people, what do real labor contractions actually feel like? And they're like, oh, you'll know. And I'm like, really? I'll know? You'll know. And the best way my doctor explained it to me afterwards was because I had told him that I got up. It was like 5 in the morning. So I got up. Actually, I think it was 3 at this time. 3. Got up, went in the bathroom, and I started curling my hair. I started putting on my makeup, curling my hair, getting ready. And he says to me, those are not real contractions. Real contractions, you would not be curling your hair. You would not care about any of that. You would be getting to the hospital as quick as you could to either have a baby or get your epidural. And looking back on that, I think it is so funny. That was a perfect advice from him, because wait till you hear the story of Hayes. His birth story is comical and so appropriate for Hayes as who he is. It's so funny. It's such a perfect birth story. Anyway, back to Kastle. So Kastle, first time parents, I get up, I'm doing my hair, la 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 la. I woke Rick up around 5 or something, and I said, it's time. We're gonna have the baby. I will tell you, the night before this, I had been doing curb walking. A few days leading up to this, I had been doing curb walking. But this night before, we were with friends over at the Hilton Lounge, and I ordered nachos with a ton of jalapenos on them. So I don't know, ladies, maybe that's what did it. Maybe that was the final thing. We came home from the Hilton, and I don't know, they were watching like a football game or a wrestling match or something. And I was sitting there just eating nachos with jalapenos. Came home, did some curb walking, and there you go. It shook him loose. Whatever it was, shook him loose. So then Rick woke up and went upstairs. I don't even know what he did. I have no idea. I had no idea. He went upstairs and made scrambled eggs. It's so random that that's what went through his head when I said, hey, it's time. We're going to have a baby today. He got up 5 in the morning, went upstairs, made himself scrambled eggs. I'm sure he made them for me too. But anyway, so get to the hospital, and then I'm like, oh, okay, these are actual contractions. Ow, 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 ow. But they were all in my back. Yeesh. Bad, 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 bad. Hurt so bad. Poor mama, seriously. And bless his friend's mom's heart. Our good friend at the time, Dave B., his mom was my nurse, my intake nurse. And thankfully, bless her heart, thankfully, she showed pity on me, because I wasn't even dilated to a 2. Like, I wasn't nothing. They would have laughed in my face and sent me right home. But my contractions were so strong, so close, and just all in my back. And they were just so close together. And so she did admit me. Bless her heart. That is not really a thing that I think they do, because I wasn't even a 2 yet. But man, those contractions, she could tell they were bad. So I'm pretty sure I got that epidural as fast as I possibly could, which all moms know now slowed down my labor completely. So, however long it took for me to get my epidural, and then it was easy breezy, no big deal. Slept, hung out, couldn't eat. That was sad. Rick's grandparents brought in Larson's, which any of you down here in St. George know that that was about the rudest thing they could have possibly done. The nurses said I could have some of the slush, and it just made me, I think I threw it up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I threw it up. Did not care for that. But anyway, so yeah, easy breezy, took forever, took all day. I mean, if you think about it, we went at 7 in the morning and he wasn't born until 10:45 that night. The thing that goes along with Kastle is he was big, 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 but my epidural was working so well, like too well. Like I could not feel a thing, could not. They had to keep rolling me over anytime something would happen with him. I remember feeling like a beached well when they'd have to pull the sheets under me and roll me over so that they could get his heart rate to adjust or whatever it was they were doing. I don't know. I just remember my foot kept falling off the bed and I'm like, Rick, my foot's falling off the bed. You got to put it back. I do remember from this delivery, again, it was just like nothing. They kept coming in. I remember women were screaming. Women, unmedicated births were happening down the halls. And my nurses kept coming to check on me, and I would say, please go help them. They sound like they need help way more than I do. I am fine. Please go help them. And I was doing that all night long until my mother-in-law finally was like, Gina, you have got to push this baby out. I understand you're not feeling it. We have got to get this baby out. So, I think I was going to say something right then, but I forgot where I was going. Anyway, so finally my mother-in-law, the nurse came in and it was like, I don't know, maybe 10 o'clock later. And she says, no, we have got to get this baby out. We have to get this baby out. She has to push this baby. She's been here all day. We have to get this baby out. And I'm trying to think at some point in this, they had broken my water. Maybe it was when she said, we have to get this baby out. So maybe it was a little earlier. Anyway, they had broken my water and it was green, black, green, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it. It was so full of meconium, and yeah, that's not great. If you don't know what that is, that's not good. It means he was so developed and so ready to come out, and so I should have gotten this baby out sooner, that he was swimming in his poop, in his own feces. And so a big deal for that, especially he was a level, so that's bad. That's not great. So when he was born, he was basically green. He was covered in poop. But they don't want the baby to breathe when that happens. So I remember him coming out and hearing the nurse start counting. Like out of nowhere, all of a sudden she starts just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's basically counting so the doctor can hear how much time he has to suction out baby's lungs, baby's nose, everything, because we don't want meconium to go into his lungs. So I'm like, what is she counting? Like this first time mom, I'm like, what is happening? You know, I'm not holding my baby. He's working on him still. I'm just like, what? It wasn't really anything that really upset me, but it was weird. Something that I was not prepared for. I didn't know to expect. I had no idea what was even happening. And then they laid this big, fat, almost 9-pound baby on my chest. And oh my gosh, if you could have seen his lips, you guys, holy cow. Oh, I think I have the picture. Yes, I do. I don't think you can tell, but this is right here. The first time we became parents. Oh, sorry, I bumped my microphone. So if you are on YouTube, let's see. Oh, can you see those lips? Can you even look right there? Those lips. And I remember Rick he was teasing and he's like, are you sure he's mine? And then they handed me this baby with these lips. And I'm like, there's the proof, buddy. Right there. He's got your lips. He was so swollen and just squishy. Oh, could not stand it. What a squishy little nugget. Black hair and seriously, the best moment of my life. But then he became a NICU baby because of the meconium, and so that did determine a course of trauma for us as parents, as first-time parents. Like with the NICU, I would go in to feed him, but he wouldn't latch. And so I had those plastic nipple shields. Thankfully, I had them. So I don't care about you lactation specialists that hate those. They were a savior for me and my baby because I would pump and they would put my milk in a syringe and then I would put my milk in a syringe and then we would kind of syringe it through those little nipple shields, and that's how he learned to nurse. So I I loved those things. They helped us in so many ways, so whatever. But do you. You do you, mamas. Don't listen to people if they're telling you no, 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 or yes, yes, yes. I mean, just listen to yourself. That's what this whole episode is so good. It's coming out in a couple weeks with Kristen Fennell. And it's so much about not putting so much into what other people want for you and what other people are telling you to expect for yourself and with your birth and with your baby and with you as a parent. Guess what? If you can quiet all the noise, if you can accept it as like, oh, that's interesting information. That's a perfect way to accept information. That's interesting. It's not fact. I mean, some of it obviously from your doctors and things are, but for the most part, the information you're taking in from social media and wherever you're getting it, just friends and family, whatever, that's interesting. If you can wrap your head around that, then going forward, you listen to you. You check in with you. Clear the chaos and quiet the noise to the point where you can check in with you as a mama and with this baby, and you guys will connect and you will sync up, I swear to you. So, and it will be so much more magical, beautiful, wonderful, whatever. Yeah, we talked about that with expectations as well in anything, expectations in life, but expectations around a birth and having a birth plan. Birth plan is great. Don't get me wrong. I love it. You have to visualize, manifest, whatever for an ideal situation, as long as you are aware that ideal situations rarely happen because you don't have all the information, right? I didn't have all the information. I didn't know that Kastle was going to be swimming around in his bag of poop for however long we allowed him to be doing that because I wasn't pushing I remember what I was going to say. The one thing I do remember from that birth that I've never experienced again, and I actually just finally saw someone on Instagram talking about the birth shakes. I was crazy. Apparently, when your body is transitioning from like whatever 9 centimeters to 10, basically when your body is saying, I'm ready to push, you get those shakes, like these shakes, horrible, horrible shakes. And I couldn't feel the pain. Like I didn't know my body was doing this, but my body knew it was doing it. So it created these uncontrollable shakes. I remember I asked Rick to sit on me, like to lay on me, to try to put pressure on me to get me to stop shaking. It was so annoying. It was the most uncomfortable, annoying thing. My teeth were chattering, all the things, just shakes, like quaking. And I think it's really weird that that didn't happen with either of my other boys. So super weird. But I was so excited when I finally saw a girl create a reel talking about the shakes. And I was like, nobody else has ever been able to like talk to me about that, or I've never talked to anybody about that. But yeah, that was a big deal. So anyway, like that, things like that are unexpected. You don't have all the information, just you got to go with the flow. Be open to it and open to asking for help or asking questions, or, your nurses are there to help you and assist you. Your doulas are there to help you and assist you. But the only times that I've ever heard stories that have created trauma or bad experiences is when you are so rigid that you can't change your plan. You are just so determined that this is what has to happen. You're forgetting the bigger picture. The bigger picture is to deliver a healthy baby, have a healthy mom and a healthy baby. That's the goal, right? So these women, these nurses aren't here to make your life miserable, or you should not be there to make their lives miserable. You're all there for the one common goal of happy, healthy, strong, baby and mama, and that's the goal, right? So you have to be able to give and take just like in any relationship. If you can think about your relationship with this staff, the nurses, the doctors, or your midwives or whatever, your husband, kids, do you have kids in the room because you're in your house? Like if you can just create the experience around the belief that things change. Things don't always happen the way that we think they're going to happen. And that's okay. That's okay. It will create an even more beautiful, special experience. I promise you. I don't know who I'm even talking to with this. First time moms, people that have never been a mom yet. I don't know. If you're out there, oh, I hope it's just you other mamas that are listening going, yep, yep, exactly. Yep, we know. We've been there. So who knows what's going to happen with this baby girl? I don't even know. So I'm going to let this one just be this. This one's just Kastle's birth story. So I will come back. You guys tune in for Hayes' birth story is hilarious. So funny. It has like twists and turns and ups and downs and oh my unexpected situations. Hayes' birth story is so appropriate for him. And then Lockie's is sad and traumatic, but wonderful. And so, I will get to it and get those recorded, but stay tuned and we'll just have birth story month of December, baby month, waiting on baby month. What should we call this? The month of baby? I don't know. So thank you, ladies, for tuning in. Remember, you're going to be hearing this. We still have plenty of time to come join the sisterhood. Our private coaching community, Revitalized Sisterhood, is still free in December. So come join it. Come hang out with us. Come see what we're doing in here. Get an idea. If you've ever been curious, just get in here while it's free and come see for yourself if this is someplace that you would feel like you would thrive. I think it is. I think it absolutely is. So get in here and come check it out. Meet the other women that you would be working side by side, living side by side, hanging out with side by side on this same journey of self-growth and empowerment and I don't know, all the things. So, all right, ladies, thank you so much for tuning in and we'll see you next week.